I've made a terrible, terrible mistake. At the end of last episode, we finally got access to Creative Flight with the Angel Ring. And I was around 40 hours of playtime at that point. And as you can see, I'm now at 46. You may be asking what happened to that extra 6 hours that I missed. I forgot to hit record. So there's a whole episode that you're missing here. But essentially, the base is already built. This is what'll be the center area for my new base. We've got this ethereal glass from Extra Utilities 2. This just allows me to go through it. Got these like lights with anti-blocks. This arcane stone is super expensive for me. It's stone and V crystals, which I don't have a steady supply of V crystals yet. And the plan here is I'm going to have my ME controllers here. And then through the center, I'm probably going to have cables going straight up into here, which will be my control room with the terminals around here and just benches in the ground. And then I'll have machine rooms off to each of these 4 directions. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm sorry that I don't have any of the footage for building it. I'm really sorry, but this episode is going to be a little bit of a weird one. I want to backtrack a little bit. First of all of this needs to be moved over, which means I need to design my machine room. Let's move this over. First of all, I think I want to... Let's knock this out real quick. Make a 5x5, I guess. Or 7x7. Yeah, 7x7. I'll fill in the walls on this later. For now, I think I'm gonna have a 5x5 ME controller, but I am gonna have a subnet. That's something I haven't played with enough of, so let's put the subnet here. For now, this is gonna be my main network. I didn't think this through. My energy conduits are in there, I think. It's on the max ones. It's not gonna be enough. Alright. Managed to hook it up. For now, I'm just gonna do the basic setup that I had. I didn't bring the drawer. Yeah, I didn't expect this many items on the ground. I probably should have broke it all and put it in the drives in the first place and just moved it. But I guess this is what we're doing. This is just how it is. I'll fill that place out with generators at some point. For now, we can just fill in the walls. I didn't have enough. Alright. Still not sure if this is how I'm going to power it. Just a straight up line from there. But we'll see. Next is the machine room. Here's my thought process. I think this direction I'm going to save for mass storage. So like my server room, my auto crafting, and maybe an office. And opposite that, this is going to be my main machine hall. I don't have any plans for the other 2 hallways yet. But given that these don't... This one... It's got a bit of room, but not too much with the edge here. And kind of the same on the other one. I might save them for smaller projects. These 2 directions are the main 2 to worry about. So, let's get started on the machine hall. You may notice that there's a giant layer of cobblestone here. That's because in order to make this, I use Schematica. So, that allows me to get it from creative into survival. Like an idiot. Instead of digging out the area that I needed to be dug out, I may have dug out the entirety of all the chunks. So there's a giant layer of cobblestone there. So there's your explanation as to why there's a bunch of cobblestone around this. So, it's been about 8 hours since I last checked in, and there's been some major renovations to this. I've decided to do most of them building off camera, because it's a lot of it, and I'm not that great of a builder, so I take forever. But the main difference is there's this wall. This will be used for a project I'm planning for the late game, so that probably won't pan out till the end of the series. But as you can see here, I've got my 5 panels and then these to monitor just whatever. I'll change this out to whatever I'm doing. Basically, this will let me see what fluids are in my system. This will let me see what gases. This will let me see all my auto crafting. You can see there's a ton of that. I'll show you that later. And this will just let me set my patterns. And then we've got this in the middle because there's free space there. And I've changed out this ethereal glass for ineffable glass. This is just a better design. Just looks better. But if we go down here, as you can see, I've moved over my IE2 stuff. And yeah, I've got my controllers set up. Even coming up here with the P2P to the panels. If you don't know about Applied Energistics, this controller acts as a sort of brain for your system. So it needs to be connected to this to function. So what I'm doing here is called a subnetwork. As you can see over here, there's 2 channels coming across into that controller. That's connected into here, where's my machine room. And if we go downstairs, as you can see, there's 2 channels going across. Then we get to this P2P tunnel, and on the other side, there's actually 14 being used. Basically, this P2P changes this 14 into 1 across here, and then connects to another P2P. And there's another one over here for some plants that I'm growing. See, so I'm growing hemp fiber over here, because this will make wool for my cables. I've set up all my machines here. There's named interfaces underneath them, so I can tell which one's which. Made this sawing factory. The sawing factory is actually pretty much the only progress I've done, but it's just 1 quest, and I needed it to get proper wood amounts. We've got our alloy furnace, and there's a storage bus on this drawer. Basically lets me see this drawer in the network as if it was part of the system. Over here, we've got all the plate presses. I've got 3 plate presses down here. These are like metal plate. This is wires? Yeah, this is wires and this is gears. And I have space for 3 more, depending on if I need more plate presses, wire presses, gear presses, blah, blah, blah. These all output into these chests, which then all output into, yeah, an interface here that's connected to the system. So, yeah, this room is just going to expand with the more machines that I have. I don't want to go too fancy because I'm not a great builder. And I know this doesn't look amazing, but it looks decent enough for what I want. And I need to save some of my brain power for some of my endgame builds that I have planned. These P2Ps just connect up to the other side. So let's say this one, 0C90, you can say it says input. Basically, a channel, the 32 channels from this controller is going into this cable as 1. Then if we come over here, this is my mass storage and auto crafting area. I have space for 32 disk drives over here. This is my next plan, is to get this changed out and actually connect this up. But if we go downstairs, 0390 should be one of these. Yeah, this one. See, there's 6 channels being used over here. This goes into 1. So basically what's happening is that P2P is changing 32 channels from the side of that controller into 1 channel, traveling along, and then it outputs the 32 channels here. Meaning that this dense cable going along can technically handle 32 P2P connections, meaning that since there's 4 sides of this mini controller down here, and I mean I can expand it if I need to, which I shouldn't, each side makes 32. So that's 32 times 4. If my math is correct, that should be about 5,000 channels, which shouldn't be... we shouldn't use that much. I don't think we're going to have 5,000 different devices at any point. But if we need to, we can just expand this and expand this. This is going to be a 5x5 cube. And if we want to, we can make it 7x7. There's plenty of space here to make it bigger. This is just a little progress update. I'm going to build this out with drives because I have it set up in my auto crafting. I need to fill these in with auto crafters. These are my little spaces where I'm going to have my 3x3 cubes. And these trees are just auto crafting trees as usual. There's a line that connects in the bottom middle, and these just have the patterns that output into these molecular assemblers. I filled them with acceleration cards so they go as fast as possible. And yeah, I mean, it's fairly simple. It may be confusing because I'm not explaining it well, but I'm really trying. Over here is my office. I've got another terminal just so I have access over here. And I've got my inscribers here just because these don't really fit anywhere. I don't want to put them in my machine room because you don't want to power them really with... You don't really care about powering them with normal because these just take it from the interface and the cable. So, I mean, over here just gives this room a little bit more to look at. And this is just where my spawn point is, so I don't have to walk like 1,000 blocks or whatever it is now. As you can see with the quantum legs and brownstone, I'm really zooming around the base. These conduits will be facaded at some point, and so that they're not just in the way. So yeah, next I'm gonna do a little bit of more work. I'm gonna set up these drives, and next time you see me, I'll be ready to start the next actual bit of progression, which I'm still not sure what mod it's gonna be. It'll likely be... It'll probably be UU matter. If we look at something like the machine case, it says that it can be replicated with 19 millibuckets of UU, and this recipe is really annoying to do. I mean, I have it automated for the most part, but it's still really, really out of my way to make. So if I can just automatically copy it somehow, that's all good by me. It's a lot less resources I have to use. So that'll probably be the next part. That'll be probably the next part of production that I make in this base. But for now, I still want a little bit of tidying up around here. I've got a lot more work to do on this base, and next time you see it, shouldn't be too long now. I can only think of a few things I need to pretty up, like these extractors, like this industrial craft stuff. That'll probably be set up in its own machine room thing by the time you see me next. And I'll probably have sieves move over here, and the dish drops will be over there. Otherwise, this place should be the same. I can't think of anything else that could be added. Oh, and the enrichment chamber and the infuser setup. And then we'll get started on actually doing something. This episode's going to be a lot of just housework and me checking in. Hopefully you don't mind that. I don't really want to show most of this because it's boring for me. I'm sorry if it's not to you, but I think me editing this would be terrible. I think I'd be really bored. Oh, I should probably mention, here's where I've got my power set up. Just a bunch of biofuel generators. This same setup as before. These are still growing melons. This just a bunch more. I plan on doubling this setup actually. So just putting them on top of each other and then just copy pasting the conduit settings. But this is just a good little hidden way to do it, and here's an alternate way down into my cabling tunnel. You want to have a cabling tunnel like this so that you can get in and change around your cabling easily. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to work on setting up all this, and then I will see you in the next clip. Welcome back. It's been a really long time for me. I've been both IRL and in-game. It's been about 40 hours of playtime. As you can see, I'm back in my old base. I just wanted to show that I've finished moving everything over, including the sieve setup. Mana setup, I'll need to move over, and I've even moved out the mob farm. So the reason that it's been 40 hours is it's been a lot of me transferring everything over, and as you can see, I kind of got carried away building. Yeah. I forgot a pathway to that one. I'll get that done eventually. Basically, I didn't show a lot of this off because it's just a lot of me. It's a very basic circle with 8 circles around the side. It's not that interesting. Through a bunch of events, I wasn't able to record, or I just forgot to at some points because I'm not that smart. Not much else has changed. I set up cobblestone generation, as you can see here. You may notice I have a lot more grains of infinity. I did set up everything else again. I've set that up for creosote. Still haven't moved the industrial craft. There's a bit more P2P tunnels there. We go in here. As you can see, I've got mana glass in front of here, just to make it look cleaner. Up here, I've made my first automated workbench. This is currently making steel components. That's just so that I can automate the casings. Yeah, the steel casing requires steel components. So I've just made that so I can auto-craft steel casings. And I've actually made a decision. I think I'm going to try to get through this pack without using UU matter, because duplicating stuff just seems a bit boring. And it's not like I have a lack of resources. If I go back into my terminal, you may notice that I have plenty of ore and ingots. And I'll show you why. In here, this is where I showed you last time. I've got full molecular assembly trees here. Underneath here, I've just got a P2P tunnel on each side to the crafters, because I plan on having quite a bit more of those. And there should be there's a P2P on each of these trees, so they can go up to 32 channels each. Over here, there is a P2P to each drive station, so 32 drives on each side. And there's a P2P, there should be a P2P, yeah. There's a P2P here, which is just going to lead to storage bus to... I extended the back of this drive bay room to have a bunch of drawers for my mass storage that isn't being automatically produced. So I've got cobblestone. I'll probably have, like, sand, gravel, dirt, and stuff here. And I'll probably put the building materials here as well. And I've got these 4 crafting arrays. It's just 5 co-processing unit and 64 times 4, obviously. So there's 22 co-processing units on each of these, which I think is completely overkill, but I just wanted it to be full, just in case. It's not that hard to make. Obviously, these are all full of acceleration cards, and this crafting monitor will just show what I'm crafting at that moment. So if we come in here, as you can see, I've got my liquid meat here. If we go to craftable, let's say let's craft 100 conduits. Which one's it on? This one. As you can see, it's saying that it's crafting 100. Crafted 8, so it's at 92. So that'll just give me a quick glance, and this will be expanded back quite a bit more, because I'm sure I'm going to need plenty more assembler cubes. Got that down. I've got my Tinker's Tool and the Architect's Saw Bench here. As you can see, I've got an export bus exporting liquid meat into this tank, just so that I can quickly pick up some meat without having to go down to my mob farm, which is down here. But first, I'll go over my sieving setup. Basically, what's happening here is I've got stonework factories. First one making gravel, sand, dust, and this one's also making gravel. And these are exported into a compacting drawer, which is then exported into heavy sieves, which just make big things. These all export into these 2 crafters, and for the finished products like the Certus quartz and the redstone, they just immediately go into the wall of ores. A bunch of compacting drawers, just in case I need the blocks. These crafts into ores, which are then put into a enriching factory for doubling, and then just smelted. Because I feel like more than ore smelting is completely unnecessary. There's absolutely no need for, say, ore tripling with mechanism. That's not needed with sieves, really. And as you can see, there's some skins on these guys. This one has my skin. Got Lashmac, Extra Cool Cat, and Threefold. I just decided to pick those to test it out, and they do work. Got them as my slaves now. Love their videos, by the way. If you don't know them, check them out. We go down here. As you can see, there's another P2P over here. This leads into the storage bus on the drawer wall with all the ores, and there's this one little line that goes back there. This line goes down here to where my new mob farm is. As you can see, I've got the mob slaughter factory making pink slime. I've got fluid storage buses, so you can see all that in the terminal. Liquid meat, which I need. God, they're loud. Plenty of essence with a bunch of fluid storage, as usual. And this little mini setup to extract some XP. And just a mob crusher. I've got blaze spawners here, just in case I need blaze rods. I'm sure I'll change that out for another mob when I need them. And as you can see, I'm making plenty of stuff, including this Inferium, glowstone, and basically all the armor that I'm dealing with, I'm just putting into 1K drives. As you can see, I've got plenty back here, so that these aren't filling up like a chest and then just clogging this up. There is a trash can back here that's like, that trash can just leads to, that has just really low priority. So if anything can't fit anywhere, like into the drives, it just goes straight into the trash. And also back here, I have my fire starters with a level emitter that just detects how much grains of infinity I have. And these, with this collector, just collect grains of infinity and put it into the drawer. And as you can see, as I have more than 20,000, these are messed up. Whoops. I was wondering why these were going. Yeah, because these cyclic machines only have redstone to turn it on or always on. That should fix it. Let's get a torch up in here so no mob spawn. And I've got a very basic biogenerator set up to power all this. And you may notice that there's an ME controller. This is just all this is connected to a subnet so that nothing gets interacting with this. How this works is basically all these go in here. I've colored the cables so that you tell they're different, and you can actually very easily read the items and fluids from other nets by just placing a fluid interface, or an interface period, and then just putting a storage bus on it. Like, here, I can see all the fluid up at the top because this is here. Generally, you want to have the items on extract only, so you're not putting stuff into the drives here. And this I don't think matters, because I don't have any other tanks for liquid meat, pink slime, or essence. I don't think I ever will. Very basic. This is just a storage bus on the drawer controller, and this bus just lets me see, I have all these quantum suits from these. If we look at flesh, see I have 18k. That is accurate with here. So yeah, this is a lot of what I've been doing. I did a lot of it off camera, mostly because I've been busy this last week, and I couldn't really find much time to record because I had a final exam, like 3 days ago as I'm recording this. So I couldn't really, when I was on, I just wanted to let off steam from when I was studying, and yeah, so a lot of this I did off camera. I hope I explained a lot of it well enough. And the last thing that I did is I got the mechanism automation set up. I meant to do this on camera, completely forgot to record. Trust me, I'm just that stupid. But all it is these enriching factories inputting into a chest that are read in my network. It's compressed, not enriched. So you can see, but as you can see, all of this is, I've limited these to a stack because I don't need to use that much refined obsidian. These are 8 per, so this is already 8 stacks in a drawer that I can really get. And I've just got each of the alloy circuit and each of the other alloys. And over here I have a hidden enrichment chamber for pulverized, going into an infusing factory to make refined obsidian dust, which I can then use to get the compressed obsidian or the refined obsidian ingots in the osmium compressor. But yeah, I mean, only other thing I can think of is I doubled this up, like I said I was going to do, and I got this painting machine, which wasn't that bad. This just lets me hide all the glowstone. As you can see here, this is glowing. This is painted glowstone. It hides all my lighting and no more torches everywhere. Sorry that I've done this a lot off camera. I'm going to keep apologizing because I'm Canadian. That's just in my blood. Next episode, I plan on doing something a bit interesting. This episode is just a lot of housekeeping. Just really catching up. Not much montages to do because it's been a messed up week. Hopefully I'll be able to do something more interesting next week. Or, well, next episode. I don't know how long that's going to be for me. I'm thinking I have a few tasks that I want to do. I'm on summer break now, so there should be, hopefully, back to the normal upload of at least once a week, sometimes twice. Next episode, there's a few things that I want to get into. I think next episode, something I want to try out is, I think I want to get the top tier foods. I think, so part of the infinity ingot is this, or the infinity catalyst actually, is the ultimate stew and these cosmic meatballs. But the cosmic meatballs, I'm not going to have much to do. I think I'm going to actually get a lot of this ultimate stew done. So that just involves the cosmic meatballs. I can't do iron blocks. I can do mana dust. I can't do firewood. I think I can do. No, I can't do this. Basically, next episode, my plan is to get these 6 automated. 7, actually. Because then I'm mostly done, actually. This cosmic meatball is going to be annoying. So I guess I can get these done as well. The rest of this, I mean, crystal matrix is just, that's just crafting. I just need to get wither automated, but that's not next episode. Yeah, I think next episode I'm gonna get these top tier foods done because the liquid meat doesn't affect your nutrition as far as I'm aware. So I'm still having to deal with my nutrition, just not my food. So I'll have to deal with that. And I'm still not sure where I want to put that. Doing it here seems kind of stupid. Not in my machine room, it's kind of messy. I'll probably grow a lot of the plants here, but like, I guess I can use a centrifugal separator. I can do these. I can do this. Yeah, actually, I think I'll use this. Yeah, I think I'll use this with a morb, and that's how I'll farm it all. So maybe a bunch of this will go here, and then I'll just be sent into auto crafting here. But I don't know. Next episode's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a lot better than this one, hopefully. I think there's not much work to be done in between episodes because I've just caught up. I have to fix this road. But other than that, it's just going to be... You're going to catch up with me immediately after I end this episode. Yeah, I mean, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.